The lavender balloons floated against a clear blue sky as I approached my best friend's baby shower. 20 years of friendship with Lily had taught me her tells: the slight curve of her lips when hiding something, the practiced tilt of her head when craving attention. But today, something felt off. Wrong. My husband, Ethan, sensed it too, his doctor's eyes catching details others missed. When he gripped my hand and whispered, "We have to go now," I should have listened. Instead, I brushed him off, making excuses for Lily as always. It wasn't until we were halfway home that he said 3 words that shattered my oldest friendship: "She's not pregnant." What I didn't know was how deep the deception ran, or what it would cost me to face the truth about the person I thought I knew best. I pulled into Lily's suburban driveway, gravel crunching under the tires. Her house was adorned with lavender and cream streamers, balloons swaying in the spring breeze. Cars lined the street, more than expected for an intimate celebration. "Looks like the whole town's here," Ethan said, adjusting his collar. He'd been quiet on the drive, hands gripping the wheel too tightly. "You know Lily," I replied.
"Jenny var dostings halvvej."
Ethan nodded, but his expression was off. Usually the social one, today he seemed watchful. "You okay?" I asked, touching his arm. "Fine," he said, his smile not reaching his eyes. "Just tired from a double shift."
I let it go.
Ethan's hospital work often drained him, and I didn't want to start the day with an argument. We walked up the path, my arms full with a gift basket of organic onesies, children's books, and a blanket I'd knitted for 3 months.
The door swung open before we knocked.
"Emma." Lily squealed, arms outstretched. She looked radiant in a floor-length pink dress, blonde hair in loose waves, a flower crown atop her head. Her makeup was flawless, her blue eyes sparkling. She was like a pregnancy magazine model, selling the dream of motherhood. "You look incredible," I said, handing Ethan the basket to hug her. Lily held me at arm's length, angling her body away. "Don't squish the little one," she laughed, patting her stomach. The gesture seemed theatrical. "We wouldn't want that," I smiled, glancing at Ethan, but he was scanning the room methodically. The entryway opened to a transformed space.
Lavender flowers covered every surface.
A photographer captured candid moments. A bartender mixed mocktails at a marble bar. A neon sign glowed, "It's a girl," in pink cursive. "This is, wow," I breathed. "Lily, this must have cost." "Don't worry," she cut me off. "Most was donated. People are so generous." Ethan's eyebrows rose, but he stayed silent. James, Lily's husband of 3 years, approached with champagne. Tall and angular, his dark hair receding, he handed Ethan a glass. "For the non-pregnant," he joked, his British accent sharp. "Congratulations," Ethan said, clinking glasses. "First time fatherhood."
"Big change."
"The biggest," James agreed, but his eyes flicked to Lily, a look I couldn't read.
"Emma."
A voice called. Clara pushed through the crowd, her curly hair bouncing. Behind her were Mia and Noah, our high school circle. "It's been forever," Mia said, hugging me. Her bohemian dress had paint stains under her nails. 6 months isn't forever," I laughed. "In artist time, it is," she countered. Clara, now a therapist, observed us analytically. "How's the counseling center, Emma?" "Busy," I replied. "Everyone needs someone to talk to." Noah, Lily's younger brother, lingered at the group's edge. No longer the gangly teen who slipped notes into my locker, his gaze held a beat too long. "Nice to see you," he said. "You too," I replied, aware of Ethan watching. Lily clapped her hands. "Now that Emma's here, I can show you the nursery mock-up. The designer finished yesterday." She led us upstairs, chatting about organic paint and sustainable timber.
"Isen whisperet, notice a nyting."
"Like what?" I asked. He shook his head. "Later." The nursery was a vision in pinks and creams, a crystal chandelier, a hand-carved crib, a hand-painted forest mural. A plush armchair sat by a bookshelf of children's classics. "Stunning," Mia gasped. "Absolutely," I agreed, but the luxury clashed with Lily and James's modest lifestyle. James worked in publishing, Lily ran a small non-profit. This room likely cost more than their 3-month income. Most was donated by vendors for the Maternal Health Initiative, Lily said, as if reading my thoughts. They want to showcase their products. Convenient, Clara remarked, her skepticism showing. Lily's smile tightened. As others admired the wallpaper, I saw Ethan in the doorway, taking photos of the room, zooming in on details. He pocketed his phone when he caught me watching.
Downstairs, the party buzzed.
Games were played, advice cards filled, gifts piled high. Ethan stayed on the sidelines, texting, his charm absent. During a lull, I cornered him by the drinks table.
What's going on?
Nothing, he said, eyes scanning the room.
Just tired.
You're acting weird.
You will barely spoken.
He sighed. I noticed things that don't add up. Before I could press, the photographer called for a group photo. We gathered around Lily, who cradled her belly like a treasure. Ethan stepped back, his attention on a middle-aged man with salt and pepper hair by the gift table. The man watched Lily with concern.
What's that?
I whispered to Mia. She shrugged. Maybe James's colleague or a family friend. Lily's mother, Margaret, took the stage. Her severe blonde bob framed her sharp features. When Lily told me she was expecting, she began, glass raised. I thought of the silence we've endured, the waiting. This baby girl is a blessing after long silence. The room applauded. Ethan stiffened. We have to go, he said abruptly. Now. What? We can't leave in the middle. His fingers gripped my wrist. Trust me, we need to go. His certainty made me relent. I apologized to Lily, blaming a hospital emergency. She pouted but accepted, extracting a lunch promise. As we drove away, the balloons faded in the rearview. This better be good, I said. Ethan's knuckles were white on the wheel. It's not good, Emma. It's not good at all. The silence in the car was heavy. Ethan drove with precision, eyes fixed ahead.
Are you going to tell MA what's going on?
I asked. His jaw tightened. Give me a minute to figure out how to say this. Say what? That you embarrassed me in front of everyone. He didn't respond. Ethan, whatever it is, tell me. He exhaled. Lily's not pregnant. I laughed incredulously. What? We were at her baby shower. I saw her belly. You saw something, he said, detached. But it wasn't a 7-month pregnancy. That's insane. I've known Lily since we were 6. I'd know if she was faking. Would you? His eyes flicked to mine. When did you last touch her stomach? I pictured the past months, the announcement, the gender reveal, the shopping trips. Hugs were angled, brief, controlled. She doesn't like people touching it, I said defensively. Lots of pregnant women don't.
Convenient.
Stop it. This is ridiculous.
What's the point of faking? Ethan sighed. The man at the gift table?
Dr. Thomas Reed, an obstetrician at my hospital. Maybe her doctor. He's not. He works at Mercy General. Lily goes to St. Elizabeth's, you told me. I frowned. Maybe she switched. Emma, he recognized me. He looked concerned. Deeply concerned. About what? I don't know, but I overheard James on the phone near the bathroom. He said, she's starting to believe it herself. We need to speed this up.
Achille ran trug ME.
That could be about anything. Then explain the medical reports I saw in Lily's office last week when we helped move furniture. You snooped. They were on the desk.
Blood test panels, Emma.
Not consistent with pregnancy. You had no right.
I'm a doctor. I know what I SAV.
Anger flared. So you think this is a hoax? My best friend is faking a pregnancy? That's crazy. More than crazy, he agreed. Possibly pathological. This is jealousy, I snapped. You've always been weird about my friendship with Lily. His face hardened. That's not fair.
She's manipulative, Emma.
She uses you.
Pull over.
My voice was ice. He guided the car to the shoulder, engine running. I don't want to fight, he said. I'm telling you what I observed because I'm worried.
I staret out the window, fichting tears. You revrong.
I hope I am. But think about it. When did she announce? January. 7 months ago. Has her body changed like a pregnant woman's? Her face, ankles, weight. I thought of Lily at the shower. Slender arms, defined jawline, slim ankles. She's always been thin, I said weakly. She's not drinking because of doctor's orders.
No morning sickness, food aversions, back pain.
I hadn't heard her mention any. And that nursery, he continued. Everything's in packaging. Like it's for show. Stop, I said, covering my ears. He waited. Why?
I whisperet.
Why would anyone do this?
Attention, money.
That shower wasn't cheap, and she said most was donated. What does that mean? The extravagance replayed in my mind. Catering, decorations, gifts. Lily's non-profit focused on maternal health.
Kultere BA connection?
I need to know for sure, I said. Ethan nodded, driving again.
Dupt crept in.
I'd known Lily longer than anyone but family.
We'd shared first kisses, college fears, wedding jitters.
But she always needed an audience. Her heartbreaks were public, her achievements broadcast. Even her proposal from James was staged for social media. I keep thinking about her mother's words, Ethan said.
A blessing after long silence. What's silence?
Lily never mentioned fertility issues. No, I agreed. My phone buzzed. Lily, miss you already.
Lunch Tuesday?
So much to tell you. I stared, seeing it anew. What hadn't she shared? At home, the sun set in orange and pink. What now? I asked. That's up to you, Ethan said.
She's your friend.
I nodded.
I need the truth.
That night, I lay awake, replaying 7 months of interactions with Lily. Her excitement, her vague answers about doctors, her declining my offers to join appointments. By morning, I decided to see for myself. Ethan had an early shift, leaving me pacing the kitchen. I scrolled through Lily's photos, radiant hands on her bump, always in flowing dresses, always angled, always distant. I texted her, left my shawl at your place. Okay to swing by? She replied, not home, doctor appointment in the city. Sophie's there, she'll let you in. Perfect. Lily's younger sister was less guarded. I grabbed my purse, inventing a blue shawl to find. The drive to Lily's Victorian house felt long. Only Sophie's old Civic was in the carport.
I knocked, heart pounding.
Sophie opened the door, hair in a messy bun, wearing Lily's old college t-shirt.
Emma? What are you doing here?
Left my shawl, I said, forcing a smile. Lily said you'd let me in. She stepped aside. Probably in the living room with the shower stuff.
The house felt hollow without the crowd.
Sorry for the mess, Sophie said, gesturing to a half-eaten breakfast. I scanned, pretending to search. In the dining room, an open bottle of red wine sat beside a plate with half a steak.
Late breakfast.
I raised an eyebrow.
Sophie flushed. James from last night.
Steak and wine?
Heavy for Lily Tesedes.
She didn't. Sophie stopped, eyes widening. She had something pregnancy-friendly. I nodded, filing it away. Where's Lily today? Doctor's appointment. Sophie shifted.
Yeah, a clinic out of town. Special monitoring.
Her voice wavered.
Everything okay with the baby?
Fine, she said too quickly. Routine. I wandered to the stairs.
Mind if he checks the nursery for my shawl?
I'll come, Sophie said eagerly. The nursery was pristine, untouched. Boxes unopened, crib parts wrapped, clothes tagged.
Like a showroom, imom uret.
Lily wants everything perfect before opening, Sophie said. I thought I knew how she is, I said softly. As Sophie checked the closet, I spotted a journal behind the changing table, wedged as if forgotten. I slipped it into my purse. Not here, Sophie said. We checked downstairs. I probably left it in the car, I said. I'll tell Lily you stopped by, Sophie offered. Please. Is everything okay with her? She seems different.
Something flickered across Sophies face.
She's going through a lot, but she'll be fine. She always is.
Halfway to my car, I heard voice from the house's side. I ducked behind a bush.
Lily's voice came through the kitchen window. I don't care what he thinks. This'll be over after the donation clears. Donation? I crept closer but caught only fragments, not backing out, too much invested. Footsteps sent me scrambling to my car. As I drove, I saw Lily in the rearview, phone to her ear, hand loose at her side, not on her belly. I pulled over and called Ethan. You might be right, I said, voice shaking.
Something's off.
What happened? I found a journal, heard her mention a donation clearing, saying it'd be over after. Any medical paperwork? No, but Sophie was weird. There was wine and steak.
The nursery's Unterucht.
Keep the journal, he advised. It might be evidence. Evidence of what? Best case, delusion. Worst case, fraud. I stared at the journal. Opening it felt like betrayal, but not opening it felt like enabling. The first page read, My dearest daughter, though you're not in my arms, you're in my heart. They say it's not possible, but mothers know. Dated 3 years ago. Pages were letters to a phantom daughter, some hopeful, some angry, some desperate. The latest, 2 weeks ago, my miracle girl, they've accepted your coming. Donations are flowing. Soon we'll have everything to bring you home. What happened 3 years ago? Lily and James had just married.
A secret loss?
My phone buzzed. Lily, saw you driving away. Find your shawl?
Another. I need to tell you something. Can we meet tomorrow? Some wäre private? Ivy kept a secret too long. You're the only one I trust. Dread and Vindikation wäschet over me.
I replied, of course.
Name the time and place.
She answered, the cabin at Lake Morrison. Noon.
Come alone.
The cabin, her family's summer place, was isolated.
Perfect for a confession or confrontation.
I drove home, the journal in my purse, 20 years of friendship weighing on me. Ethan was in scrubs when I arrived. You found something, he said. A lot. I showed him the journal.
Hayes expression darkened. Be careful tomorrow.
She's still Lily, I insisted, unsure. People who are drowning pull down anyone trying to save them, he warned. That night, I left Ethan a voicemail, you're right.
I'm scared of tomorrow.
In my dreams, Lily rocked an empty blanket in the nursery, singing to no one. The 40-minute drive to Lake Morrison heightened my anxiety. The cabin sat among pines, its wood weathered. Lily's SUV was parked under the carport. The porch swing was rusted, flower pots empty, welcome mat faded. The door opened before I knocked. Lily stood in a white sundress, no bump, no glow, eyes red-rimmed. You knew, she said. I nodded. She stepped back, gesturing me inside. I should have realized Ethan would figure it out.
Doctors notice things.
The cabin was dim. Lily sat on the couch, legs curled.
Do you hate me? I don't hate you.
I don't understand. She laughed brittly. That makes 2 of us.
Shepard voter, Hans Stidi. No performance.
I wasn't always lying, she began. A year ago, I was pregnant.
8 weeks.
We hadn't told anyone, waiting for the first trimester.
I miscarried on a Tuesday.
James was in London. I was alone. Why didn't you call me? You just announced your promotion. I didn't want to steal your moment.
Guilt twisted in me.
After I fell apart, she continued. Secretly.
Only James and my Dr. Knee.
I kept talking to the baby, buying things, planning. When did it become this?
I gestured at her.
She sighed. 3 months ago, I was to speak at a fundraiser. I had a panic attack. James found me hyperventilating. He said, what if you didn't have to? He suggested faking it. Not exactly. He said I could say I was newly pregnant to get through it. We'd announce a loss later. But it felt good, Emma. The congratulations, the attention. So you kept going. It snowballed. One event, then another. A small bump, then bigger. Then donations came in. She spread papers on the table, substantial donations to her non-profit, New Beginnings Maternal Care. The foundation's real, she said. We provide prenatal care to underserved women. What isn't real is you, I finished. She nodded. Why would your pregnancy affect donations? Because of the donors. She showed checks from the Graves Foundation, Williams Trust, Hampton Healthcare. They all lost children or siblings. They connect with me because they think I understand their fear of losing a child. The calculation stunned me. So the baby shower was a fundraiser? Every gift, decoration, donated by companies supporting New Beginnings. They get tax write-offs, we get supplies. My phone buzzed. Ethan, the obstetrician, emailed. He filed a fraud report. I showed Lily. Her face drained.
Who Else Knows? Just James and Sophie.
She figured it out last month. Lily, I can't go to jail, she pleaded. The foundation will collapse. You should have thought of that before.
Il make it right. Once the graves donation clears, il sei I lost the baby. Sympathie, not suspicion.
The coldness chilled me. What about those who care about you? They'll recover, she said dismissively. I'm not sure I will. Something shifted in her.
I need you, Emma. You won't abandon me.
The weight of 20 years pressed down, sleepovers, graduations, secrets. I'll think about it, I said, leaving. This stops today. As I drove, I felt hollow. The Lily I knew was gone. On the highway, Ethan called. You were right, I said.
Are you okay? No.
Come home. We'll figure it out.
A question nugget, the graves donation.
I pulled into a coffee shop lot, finding Penelope Graves' contact from a gala. I called. Mrs. Graves, about your donation to New Beginnings. 30 minutes later, her words echoed. Lily promised the baby would be named after my late husband, Edward, or Edwina for a girl.
A living memorial.
This wasn't just faking a pregnancy. It was emotional manipulation of grieving families. I couldn't protect Lily anymore. 3 days later, a forum post appeared. Fraud alert. Local non-profit director faking pregnancy for donations.
It spread like wildfire.
Lily's phone went to voicemail. James deleted his accounts. Ethan and Dr. Reed gave statements to hospital administration. I confirmed I had concerns about her condition, Ethan said, loosening his tie. This is a nightmare, I murmured, scrolling comments. How did this get out? Ethan asked. You told no one but me and Mrs. Graves. She wouldn't post. Someone at the shower had suspicions. Or Sophie. The next day, a letter arrived in Lily's handwriting. Emma, I know what you did. You betrayed me, like everyone. You were jealous of my life, my marriage, my success.
You were destroyed everything.
Congratulations. No apology, just blame. I recalled high school, Lily fainting dramatically after a breakup, milking attention, later confessing she needed everyone to see her pain. I'd excused so much, borrowed clothes, flirted boyfriends, cancelled plans. Sierra arrived, exhausted. I feel like an idiot, she said. I lent her $3,000 for the nursery.
Oh, Sierra.
She said a commission was coming, but she needed to pay the contractor. There is no baby, I confirmed. She miscarried a year ago. Sierra nodded. She approach anyone else?
Clara.
They had lunch. Lily was focused on her.
I kellet Clara.
I expected your call, she said. Lily didn't ask for money but pushed her foundation's need for a mental health component. I offered to volunteer. She seemed disappointed.
USAW trug IT. Professional Azar.
She's performing, not being. She shows Munchausen syndrome traits, creating a narrative for sympathy, attention, financial gain. What happens without intervention?
The lease grow. It falls apart.
Has anyone heard from her? Not since the story broke.
She blamed me. Noah kellet, regget.
Have you heard from Lily?
No.
You.
She kellet yesterday, crying.
I knew something was wrong for months, but Mom and Dad wouldn't listen. It's not your fault. The police are involved. Fraud charges. She's gone, cleaned out her accounts, disappeared.
What about James?
He's angry, not worried.
I kellet isen. Lily's missing.
She might come to you, he said. You're her safety net. That night, rain poured.
A soft knock came at midnight.
Lily stood on the porch, soaked, broken. She collapsed into my arms, fragile, ribs stark. I settled her on the couch with a blanket. She stared, unresponsive. I made tea she didn't drink, asked questions she didn't answer. After hours, she whispered, "Tell me what to do." I felt exhaustion, not pity. Ethan returned at dawn. "They've issued a warrant," he said. "Fraud, multiple counts. The Graves Foundation is pressing charges." "She has nothing left," I said. "Not our problem. She manipulated grieving families, stole money. She needs consequences and help."
She can't stay.
"Out by noon." I nodded. I set coffee and toast before Lily.
Isen vans you gone by noon.
She nodded, picking at the toast.
Where will I go? Turn yourself in.
Take responsibility.
She laukhet bitterly.
They'll jail me.
Ranningsvase.
Her eyes sparked. A documentary producer called.
Wants to interview US.
Deception and mental illness.
Good money. You're serious?
This isn't a PR problem.
You lead exploited grief.
For the foundation, she corrected. Which you controlled, enhancing your reputation.
Hier Expression kriegt. What do you want? Tears, confession?
Will that make you feel better about abandoning me? This isn't about me. It's always been you. Her voice rose. Perfect Emma, perfect husband, career, moral compass.
Do you know what it's like in your shadow?
I've made mistakes, I said. Including letting this friendship become unbalanced. I think there's something wrong with me, she whispered.
I can tell what's real animore.
I know. You need help.
A knock interrupted.
A police cruiser was outside. Lily bolted for the back door. I caught her arm. Don't.
It LLB vase. Let me go.
I'll speak for you, I said, releasing her. I'll say you came voluntarily cooperative.
You think I'm a monster? No.
You're lost, and I can't find you. Hours blurred, statements, charges. Lily led to a police car. I testified, omitting calculated donor targeting and journal planning. Some called it perjury by omission. I called it a last act of friendship. 6 months later, a letter came from Lily's psychiatric facility. Emma, writing this is part of recovery. Acknowledging harm, accepting responsibility, genuine remorse, not performance. I'm not sure I know the difference or who I am without an audience. You saved me from myself, not with excuses, but hard truth and love. I don't expect forgiveness or a response. I understand the difference between being seen and known. I stored the letter with childhood photos, friendship bracelets, and the invented shawl. At the empty baby shower venue, I sat, watching leaves fall, thinking of invisible lies we ignore in those we love. Some lies are told for love, others because someone loved attention more than truth.